Hello Warfighters, war is hell. Welcome to the next episode in the series where we're taking a look at what could have happened had there been a second Korean War. I'm sitting here in front of our lines at an OP here. You can see it's not a prepared OP, but we're trying to spot some North Koreans. We see some right here on this mountain or this large hill kind of coming our way. Having these North Koreans pretty close to our position actually is making me pretty worried. We don't know if this is necessarily a large assault or if they're just trying to recon this area in force and try and see if they can find out where our lines are, potentially some weaknesses, but we have to be very careful. Now I've spotted a tank here too. That cannot be a coincidence. So I'm expecting a full-on attack. Now we prepared for this obviously, and I'm gonna have to head back to the bridge that I have to be guarding along with some other members of the 2nd Infantry Division and make sure that the North Koreans do not cross this bridge, because as you saw from the intermission, we've slowed their advance. We've almost got it to a stop. The more that we can slow them down, the more advantageous it is for us. So we're booking it back to our location. But before we get too deep into everything, and as we make our trek back, let's go ahead and hit the briefing for this mission so you guys can be in the know on what's going on. The Korean Peninsula, as we've last left it, hasn't really changed that much at all. The North Koreans are still trying to encircle Seoul. So we're on this river right here on one of the few bridges that's left that would allow the North Koreans to cross into the rest of South Korea. So we've got to do everything we can to hold it at all costs. Again, as they tried to come in and encircle it from the right. So we'll have a few assets to our advantage, but I'll kind of give you guys a look at the defenses here for this too, as we try to push back the North Koreans around here once and for all. So this bridge, as I mentioned, is the main target. We hold both ends of the bridge, which gives us a major advantage here. If they take it, as I mentioned, they've got just a free road into South Korea. So on one side of the bridge, the side closest to the enemy, we've got some troops set up there, and then this is what we've got on the other side of the bridge. This is the group that I'm going to be joining up, just because if you've got both sides of the bridge, it's better, but if you've only got one side, defenders still have it. We've also got some friendlies that are just off to the side of the bridge too, in an entrenched position, because there is a way for the North Koreans to get across the river without utilizing the bridge, so they're kind of set up to defend against that. So it's been a bit of a run, but we've finally gotten back to the bridge. So as I mentioned, I'm going to be getting to the other side of this here, but knowing that the enemy are on their way, I still want to move quickly. I don't want to be caught out in the open on this bridge once the North Koreans get here, because I will have no cover basically whatsoever. I mean, that little pocket over there was basically the last place that I could have gotten any type of cover. Now, I got to be conscious, though, of the fact that I have no stamina left. You can hear some mortar or artillery rounds coming in here, shelling this position before they make the attack, which is not that big of a surprise. But I've gotten here. Dang, that was close. Okay, I'm just going to set up right here. These rounds keep falling up. There's our first North Korean. So they're going to come up from about right here. We've got to scan this area. And for me, I've got to make sure that my guys that are up there are well defended, because if the North Koreans just a little bit up the hill, I can engage them before they might be able to see some of my guys. And they're going to be the ones on the other side of the bridge. They're going to be taking most of the fire. So I'm playing a major supportive role here. Now with the amount of ammunition that I've got too, I've got to conserve it, because what I saw just from my little observation point there, there's a ton of North Koreans. This is not a small attack. So as much as possible, I'm going to be holding my fire until I see the enemy and they can get a good shot off. We've got somebody up in that tower too, a sniper. I wonder how long he's going to last too. But he's got the best vantage point of what the enemy's doing. And I've lost somebody already. But I feel like I'm doing a pretty good job taking these guys out. It's pretty systematic here. Just looking at where they're popping out from, and if they keep popping smoke like that, obviously it's going to make it a lot more difficult for me to be able to see where they're at. I might have to shoot in the blind here, but I don't want to do that if I can avoid it. All right, looks like they're making a little bit of a move on the right. Smoke's been popped over on the left. Reload again. I've already gone through 2 mags. Yeah, I've really got to be careful with ammunition if I've gone through 2 this quickly. Just looking at the other side of the bridge, there's been some casualties. Yes, some guys are down, but we've still got a good amount of them up. Now, I thought that they might be taking the most amount of fire, but I haven't taken a look on this side here a little bit to see if we might be taking some more. There's definitely some bullets that have landed pretty close to me. Is that somebody off over there on the right? I'm going to have to... Yes. We're moving way off to the right. Alright, if I don't see anybody here in a little bit, I'm going to move off to the right and see if I can engage those guys over there. Because, yeah, I don't think... I probably could hit them, but it wouldn't be accurate fire. I'd probably waste a lot of ammunition just by giving it a shot. I still see some movement back there, which makes it tough because once I see them, they're out of sight, further behind the trees. Oh, the guy next to me's been hit. Got somebody down now. Yeah, we've been taking quite a bit of fire. That's, what, 3 down over on this side? And still a few up on the other side. Oh, dang. Everybody who's back here with me is now down. Now, I know there's been a lot of fire coming from us. Did I lose somebody else? All right, so I do have the ability to get some help over here at this bridge. I might have to call on them here in a little bit. You know what? Let's go ahead and bring the Bradley in. Now we can, when the Bradley comes in, he'll be on this side of the bridge, and I'll feel a lot more comfortable when he's up here about repositioning myself because I'm hearing a lot of gunfire over on the left, which is where we've got the rest of the units kind of, yeah, see, there you go. We've got a lot of people stationed off on the left side here trying to cover that shallow part of the river where people can advance at. Because I've been hearing a lot of fire over here, I'm going to just reposition myself to kind of see what's going on, see how much help I can give, because I'm not going to do nearly as much good as that infantry fighting vehicle is going to do for us there. So you see the way we've got it set up here, number of sandbags, we've got 50 cal set up, we've got home missile up there too to be able to engage any armor that we may find. I don't think we've seen any quite yet, but again, there's still a lot of enemy that kind of coming this way. So these guys have been pretty busy too. Oh jeez, we're getting strafed by something. I'm trying to see if I can check this guy, find out where that aircraft went. I mean, it had to have been North Korean because obviously we're the only ones on this side of the river. Now this will be a lot more difficult to be able to find some of the North Koreans. You can see this distance, one, it's a lot harder to spot anything, but you got a lot of trees that are back there, and you don't have somebody like coming up, cresting over the hill or anything. It makes it a lot easier to be able to see where they're at. So I feel like with this, I might be firing a little bit more into just a general direction to try and suppress the enemy as opposed to engaging an individual target. I definitely want to do what I can, but with the few magazines that I've got left, I don't think I want to do that. Plus, these guys are obviously very heavily equipped. You can hear the automatic riflemen engaging. You've got the 50 cals that are opening up too. I mean, this is AI that we're talking about. I mean, I'm not going to beat around the bush. They're obviously going to be able to spot the enemy far better than I am here, and the AI that's on the other side of the river is North Koreans are going to be able to spot me pretty quick. So if I can't actively engage the enemy effectively, I could be patching some of these guys up like I just did right there and kind of play medic here. But I feel like just from the sounds of the fire that are coming from this side, we've got a renewed push here by the North Koreans. So I'll keep taking them down. And you've noticed it's, haven't been completely absent. Oh, dang, he's down. Hasn't been completely absent of targets. The one thing is, though, with him going down, I might be able to pick up some of his ammunition if I absolutely need it. But now I've got a place where I can set my bipod, get a little bit more cover. Oh, toe went off. Which means enemy armor here in this vicinity, or at least there was. They're trying to push up with those tanks that we saw earlier. It's going to be tough for them to be able to get across that river or on the bridge without anybody seeing it. And I don't think, even though infantry could go across this small patch of shallow river here, I don't think the tanks will be able to make it. I'm going to patch him up too. He's an auto rifleman right now. He's absolutely vital to this defense. What do we got? Nobody's been able to make it past the trees. Dang it, I'm hit. Now I'll have to patch myself up. Which gives me a lot of confidence since nobody has gotten past those trees. I don't think anybody's going to get out to the river. Not unless we take some very significant casualties here. And again, I don't expect them to do that. Pop my head up again. Yeah, you can see the smoke over there. Had to have been a tank or something like that coming around that same road that when we first started off and I was coming in from my OP. That I think it was coming down that road. Okay, I'm gonna bounce back because it seems like things are pretty well under control right here and really starting to reduce the amount of fire I'm hearing from this side. Go check, make sure everything's okay up at the bridge. If so, I think we've successfully repelled the North Korean attack. Just doing a quick scan. Don't see that many North Koreans at all, but yeah, there's a ton of bodies right there. As you can imagine, we've gotten a lot of North Koreans. And probably up here too. Oh, we lost a 50 cal. Probably up here too from the bridge. I'm sure there's a lot of enemy dead over there too. The Bradley still seems like it's up and good. In fact, I think that it took down a vehicle over there too. Alright, we're looking good. I think we're just getting any stragglers that might be left. So I'm going to get over here. I'm just going to reposition myself with the rest of these guys, since I know this is probably where I'd be needed most. If I need to hop on that 50 cal, I will. But I won't unless I absolutely have to, knowing that enemy kind of been shooting over in this direction. Plus that tree in front of me, that'd make it super tough to really spot a lot of the guys. Alright, I'm just going to drop to the ground. There's one's flying right past me. But since we've been able to successfully repel the enemy attack here at this bridge, we're doing a pretty good job. We've been able to hold the North Koreans once again. Oh, there it is. Bradley's opening up. So that's going to be it here for this episode as we successfully defend this position. Thank you so much for watching this one. Feel free to subscribe if you guys have not already. Remember, you could follow me on Facebook by searching War Is Hell Gaming. You can follow me on Twitter @_War Is Hell. And then there's also the Patreon where, yes, I do have patron-only posts on there that kind of give you updates on various things that are going on. And I'm going to expand that here in a little bit, so please consider donating if you can. But again, that's going to be it. War is hell, but you don't have to worry because Warfighters, I've got your 6.